All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to an all new episode of the Anination Podcast. Hope you guys are, you know, listening in. Thank you guys for support and everything. We just noticed that we've had a bunch of like awesome new people, new fans of the Anination Podcast now watching us. So give a shout out to y'all for just subscribing and everything. So yeah, another big episode that we're going to be discussing about. I mean, you guys already know about the whole indie animation thing. So that's our big topic tonight.
Yes, so welcome newcomers to the animation world. Get yourselves comfy as we delve into the subjects we're talking about tonight.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so before we get things started, let's make sure we have our mics checked and everything. But yeah, just hold on for a while. We'll be on in just a minute, so let's get it going. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to an all-new episode of the Anination Podcast. My name is Nate, and I'm here on the side.
Hey, what is up, Animation crew? How y'all doing? I just want to say happy February to each and every one of you. It is the start of a brand new month, so yeah, hope y'all are going to have a good second month of the year.
Yeah, February has just started after what I would say is an eventful January, because first off, I thought everything was well in January because a convention happened. Anime Los Angeles was fun. And then literally after ALA, everything went down to like terrible.
I know. Yeah. But between the wildfires and, plane crashes and everything.
Yeah, oh God. Yeah, I don't know what is happening, but like something's going on in our world that's kind of like messed up. I mean, so many other things too, but I'm not discussing it here.
Yeah, no, this isn't a place for political talk, so we'd rather not delve into that.
Right, exactly. But anyways, yeah, we ourselves at least had a great week. It was raining yesterday pretty badly out there. How did you survive the rain?
I survived the rain by, of course, keeping warm and making sure I have a rain jacket wherever I go.
Yeah.
And, of course, make sure, it is a rainy day, but I make sure to stay indoors as much as I can.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have to go out to work and stuff like that. And I also was watching a big movie, a movie that we're going to talk about later. Mm-hmm. But again, it was really kind of but at least it cleared up at night, which I thought was pretty sick. But neither way, like, yeah, watch out for the weather, guys. I know that at the moment right now, people are currently in a ice storm that's on the Midwest right now. So if you guys are affected by the storms in the Midwest, stay warm. Don't, freeze yourself to death or anything like that because, yeah, I heard it's been pretty bad out there.
Yeah, so just bundle yourself up and make sure that, like you said, make sure that you don't freeze to death or anything. Make sure you stay warm.
Yeah, anyways, how has your week been since the last time we met?
My week has been so-and-so. Of course, the job hunt still continues.
All right, so how's that been? Want to give us a progress about that, or?
So I just got last Thursday I did an interview with this company, a video conferencing company. So I'm hoping to hear back.
Video conferencing company?
Yeah. It's a video conferencing company that takes place 20 minutes from where I live.
Okay, so a little bit close.
Yeah. And it's, of course, an office administrator position, so I'm always looking for those. So I'm hoping to hear back from them, like I said. And I also have another interview coming tomorrow, so wish me luck there. Okay. It's a phone interview. And
Okay.
on Saturday, I spent time at a friend's place. My friend from college, she threw a PowerPoint party at her
What is a
place.
PowerPoint party? Do you like literally go through PowerPoints and celebrate?
So each of us create our own PowerPoint presentations on random various subjects. Rather it be there's one who did one on, I kid you not, why pineapple on pizza is goated.
What?
There's
Okay.
also one in which the hostess was telling some sort of like Hunger Games OC story that
No, wait. Is this about her OC or something
No,
in
it's a-
Hunger Games?
no, it's a Hunger Games surviving competition in which she pretty much has us as contestants, and she goes slide by slide how we survive, we all die.
Who died and who ended up surviving the whole thing?
Yeah, I got attacked by a boar. I got killed by a boar.
Okay. All right.
And
What was your presentation then?
My presentation was the history of Nintendo.
But
yeah.
then everybody else had like other creative like ideas.
There was also another one.
Like they have OC ideas, and I'm like, what?
Not OC.
They're trying to be funny, right? It's trying to be funny,
some trying to be funny, some trying to be educational.
and yours
like,
are kind of serious.
There was also another one of the party guests who did a presentation on Tony Baxter.
Oh yeah, nice. The Disney person who worked on like most of the rides and stuff. That's sick.
Yes.
I love Tony Baxter, and I swear to God, I think I met him at D23 this year. Like I saw his face, and I just was too shy to say hi.
Tony Baxter is a legend indeed.
Of course, he's a Disney legend himself.
Yeah, so that's why I'm glad that he chose the man, because he deserves to be
Is there like
celebrated.
some sort of contest or something, or what? Like
No, there was no contest. It was more along the lines of we each show our own PowerPoint presentations, and then after that we do some mingling. We just have some fun. There was no competition.
yeah, I never heard about a PowerPoint party. That's new to me.
It's actually it's new to me too. But since I wanted to, reunite with some of the friends from college, I thought, okay, this is something I got to go to.
Okay, all right. Sounds like sounds like a lot of fun there.
It was definitely fun indeed. But enough about me. How about you?
Not really much happened. What was it? I heard so on Friday we did the whole CaliCon blogcast. We actually put out our waifus that we're gonna roast in 2 weeks. So I actually went common and went with like your Forger from Spy Family and Mitsuri from Demon Slayer, and they said like, "Oh my God, you're gonna get a lot of bash for your waifus," and I'm like, I don't care. I mean, there are a lot of people who also did other waifus too, but I'm like, this is what we do every time during Valentine's Day, and Friday is literally going to be Valentine's Day next week. So we're going to do a waifu roast on our CaliCon blogcast. Please listen to that when it comes out in 2 weeks. So that'll be pretty sick for you guys to listen to. We have to figure out something that we're going to do for Valentine's Day, but yeah.
Of course, it will be. It's your usual Valentine's Day tradition amongst yourselves.
Yeah, that's a Valentine's Day tradition for the podcast, but we already revealed our waifus. So there you go. That's my 2 waifus are going to be revealed. So if people love Your Forger or Mitsuri from Demon Slayer, don't listen to that because you're probably going to get bashed by like guys that are going to be talking about it. Yeah. Saturday, I didn't really do much. Sunday, went to the casino, played some games there. Got myself prepared for next week since we're going to be discussing about it.
Yes.
And then yesterday, I actually watched Dogman for the first time. It was a okay movie, because the thing is about that movie was I didn't get it. Like, I didn't get the whole Dogman movie. Like, I thought it was going to be like a stellar movie, but something told me that it was I have a feeling it was just way too rushed. I didn't get the point. I didn't read the comics first off, so it didn't really get to me.
I saw it before you did. I saw it on Friday, and I thought to myself, okay, it's no Captain Underpants. Like Captain Underpants, I felt
get it.
was
Yeah,
much better.
I know that's supposed to be from the same person who made that comic too. So Captain Underpants and Dogman are made by the same guy, right?
Yeah, I think it's because growing up, I read Captain Underpants, but not Dogman. So I have a bias towards Captain Underpants. But if you look at the movies just as their own, I feel like the former is much more well structured than the latter.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's up with Dogman, but it just felt too rushed to me, and I didn't really get the point of like what Dogman was. So it didn't really impress me. Sorry for those who actually watched Dogman and liked it. I thought it was just an average movie, not being too stellar for that movie.
Yeah, I thought to myself, it's decent, but it could have been better.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can wait for like other big projects coming out. I should have watched that other anime movie, The Colors Within. I heard that was a good movie.
Yes, it
So
was.
you ready to watch
amazing.
it?
I watched it 2 weeks ago, and It definitely was beautiful. Science Starter is definitely on the roll. Like they
made Don Da Don, and now they've made this movie, Colors Within, and I know it's supposed to be about like a band movie. So
yeah, it's also helped that it's the same director as the one who did Silent Voice, so that helps. But everything about Colors Within just screams like color, just beauty, like beautiful colors. And especially we got the three main leads who are well developed. They have a beautiful friendship.
Okay, I couldn't be able to watch it. I don't even know if it's in theaters anymore, but I want to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah, if it ever comes out in theaters and stuff. Maybe me and Jess can probably have a day for it. But yeah. I did say this before, but yeah, this weekend is Super Bowl weekend. We're all excited for it. We're going to be back in Las Vegas to watch the Super Bowl and all.
Let's go.
Although it's not going to be in Vegas, it's going to be in New Orleans, but we have a friend that's over there, your brother, that is going to be hosting us over for Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. So let's actually talk about the Super Bowl for a little bit because it's going to be exciting for all of us. Kinda. You are the only one that's going to be excited for it, I'm pretty sure.
Let's go.
I know.
Come on. But to be honest, I feel like the Super Bowl could have been much better if the Bills weren't instead of the Chiefs.
Well, the Chiefs are going for that three-peat now, so.
Which we don't want. Saquon Barkley, do your job.
I just have to say this, though. I don't like this kind of Super Bowl just because it's kind of about just a rematch of 47.
Exactly.
It's 47 again.
It's nothing more than a rematch of a Super Bowl that took place 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I remember back then in 47, I picked the Chiefs to win against the Eagles, and I ended up winning that one. Then 48 happened, and then I now became a hater of the Chiefs because the Niners lost to them.
Yeah.
My team lost to the Chiefs, and I'm like, nope, I can't go for them anymore.
48 came, and now you're turning the tides.
I am turning the tides. 59 is now where I become an Eagles fan temporarily, and I'll go for Eagles.
Let's go.
Although, to be fair, I have to say this. I now feel how you guys felt when you guys hated the Patriots. So...
Yeah, exactly. You know how we feel now. You feel our pain.
Yeah, I feel your pain now. So I understand why you all now hate the Patriots. Like, how you hate the Chiefs as much as the Patriots was back in the 2000s.
I'll be honest. I'll take 2010's Patriots over 2020's Chiefs any day of the week.
Yeah, I just remember me cheering for the Patriots all the time, and you all hated me for that.
Yeah, but to be fair to the 2010... To be fair to the Patriots, they at least weren't our division rivals. So
yeah.
So as a Raider fan, I hate the Chiefs much more. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's how the Super Bowl is gonna be, and we're gonna be discussing about this next week because there's gonna be a lot of huge things coming out next week when it comes to the commercials, like the trailers about certain movies coming out, and then some of you probably have already seen it on YouTube, but they're gonna be emphasizing a whole lot more on the Super Bowl. So let's hear some examples like Fantastic Four. What was it? Was it Superman? Elio, like I'm like trying to get the names of like those things. Oh, Smurfs is also going to be a movie coming out in 2025. Kind of have a Super Bowl commercial too. So
yeah, absolutely. Not only are we going to delve into the Super Bowl commercials, we're going to talk about the game itself and also the halftime show, especially.
Oh, Kendrick Lamar, rocking the halftime show. I'm gonna love that. That's the only thing I'm watching the Super Bowl for. Was the course Kendrick Lamar? I only care for him.
Nate be like, Kendrick Lamar is Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, in my case, just because like everybody else, I'll be like, I don't care. I mean, I obviously am gonna put down money for the Eagles, but I swear to God, please beat the Chiefs. If you don't, then I'll be like, I'm not gonna be an Eagles fan no more. I rooted for your team, and that didn't work out at all.
You weren't to begin with, so I'm just like,
yeah, I know, but I'll be like, I rooted for your team. It's just kind of like last year when you rooted for my team and we failed.
Exactly.
So
you had one job. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But if you have any like talks about the Super Bowl, like put it in the comments and stuff because we like to hear your comments about it as well. Mm-hmm. All right, so ready to start the episode, sir?
Let's go.
All right, so let's talk about. Let's go straight to our quick news. Actually, talk about certain movies that have just been delayed or pushed forward because this article came out last week, and we thought it was kind of interesting to talk about these two franchises, Shrek and Minions. So, according to Hollywood Reporter, it has been announced that Shrek 5 has now been pushed back to December 3rd, 2026. It was originally supposed to be coming out July 2026, but now it got pushed back to December. So, if you are big fans of Shrek, the new movie will be coming out next year in the holiday season, not during the summertime, because that will be replaced by Minions 3, the next Illumination franchise of Minions that's going to be coming on July 1st, 2026. So how surprised are you with the fact that they changed the dates for these two franchises?
Yeah, changing the movie release dates definitely was not on my bingo card. Like I didn't expect that they would, change the movie release dates that quickly. But I do have a theory as to why, and it's the fact that usually Despicable Me movies do so well, especially in summer. Like if you look at Despicable Me 4, how well that did when it was released in July 2024, it made a ton of money. So I think that with this strategy, they thought to themselves, okay, kids are out of school, Minions are popular with the kids, so release it in July release in summer.
I mean, like, kids are going to be out in summertime anyway, so I thought it was actually a smart move. But, like, my theory about the whole fact about why Minions 3 is coming out earlier is because they probably finished the film. Because I looked this up. Minions 2 came out in 2022, and it took them 4 years to make the next Minions 3, and I thought, like, it made sense to probably release it out in the summertime because, yeah, Illumination does well in the summertime. A lot of people are still into the Minions and Despicable Me, so something tells me that this might be a hit success, like money-wise when it comes to Minions 3, but may not be, like, reviewed greatly. But either way, like, the Minions franchise itself, I just know that they're milking the heck out of it, but it's raking in the money for some reason. Like,
it's their flagship.
It's the fans, right? It's just because of the fans. People love the Minions or something.
It's their flagship for Illumination, so I can see why they would rely heavily on Despicable Me and the Minions. And I don't think they care so much about how critically acclaimed it is, so long as obviously, of course, it's financially successful.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, indeed. But let me hold on for a second. Let me put in the chat here. I hate how this is sometimes. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah.
But yeah, needless to say, all in all, I could see why they went with Minions 3 to be released in July 2026 for the reasons I just stated.
But how about Shrek 5? Because, like, first off, the announcement of Shrek came out last year, and then you're telling me that they are going to push it a little further out to December this time.
When I heard that we're going to have to wait several extra months in order to see Shrek 5, I'm just like, why? We want Shrek now, We want.
Well, I know they made the announcements last year, but I have a feeling like they want to try to polish it up, try to make sure everything is all nice for the movie to come out, because this is a big return for Shrek. After the whole disappointment of Shrek 3 and 4, like, do you think it's gonna go well with Shrek 5? Probably, just because there's a lot of fans who still love Shrek. Like, it's a big, well-known name, and plus, like, it's a meme everywhere.
I want to believe that the reason why they pushed back Shrek 5 to the release date that it was is because, well, like I said, they want to take the time to polish up the animation story and such. And I have a sneaking suspicion that Shrek 5 is going to be a stylized movie, just like Puss in Boots' Last Wish was.
Maybe, because Puss in Boots was absolute, like, banger of a movie. It was really good for The Last Wish, and the fact that, like, Puss in Boots did continue on to Far, Far Away after you saw the, post-credit scene for that movie.
Yeah, we got a good glimpse of Shrek at a par with Puss in Boots. I remember that. You remember that? You remember that scene?
No.
There was like this mid-credit scene with Puss in Boots' Last Wish.
But they went to Far, Far Away. They were sailing to Far, Far Away.
They're sailing to Far, Far Away, but which is all good because that's a good hint of, they're going to release Shrek 5. Release more Shrek.
Yes, I have a feeling that because of that, there's something tells me like the next Puss in Boots movie was going to be with Shrek. But then they did drop the news that Shrek 5 is the next big thing. So Puss in Boots probably will be in Shrek 5. I'm pretty sure that'll be it.
Yeah, well, he's got to be. He just returned to Far, Far Away with his friends.
Now the issue now remains, like, is the animation style like CGI, like what the old Shrek movies were, or was it going to be like stylized like what Puss in Boots was? Like, do you want it to be like the CGI animation that Shrek was before, or in a new style like what Puss in Boots is?
I want to see Shrek 5 be pulled off in a stylized way like Puss in Boots' Last Wish was. I want to see them experiment on Shrek.
Like, it could work, but I know everybody would love to have that CGI look of Shrek, though.
Yeah. I think that it comes down to whether or not you have your nostalgia goggles.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't matter which one it works, but, like, for me, I kind of feel towards the CGI version. Like, what we're looking at right now, this is the CGI Shrek.
Yeah, but don't forget that we were used to CGI Puss in Boots before with the Shrek movies.
Yeah, but then movie. Like, somehow it works better with that new stylized like animation that Dreamworks did with Puss in Boots' Last Wish. But, like, I don't know, it's just gonna be a whole lot different when you see Shrek in that style now, right?
It is, but I think that this is just me talking as a fan of the stylized animation, but there's a huge part of me that's confident that they'll make Shrek look even better than he did in his old form.
I'm still kind of iffy about if they want to change the animation itself, but I have a feeling it'd be better off with the CGI version because we get to see Shrek, Fiona, Donkey, the dragons, the gingerbread man, the three little pigs, everybody that we love in Shrek, all in the same style that we kind of love. Like, I kind of feel like it's better that way than the stylized version that we saw in Puss in Boots. Like, if you want to keep another Puss in Boots movie, keep it in that stylized version than the 3D version that was the first Puss in Boots movie.
Plus, we live in a day and age where Dreamworks animations nowadays, they're still experimenting with not all, some of their animated films. Like,
Wild Robot is the same stylized version of Puss in Boots. Like, if you saw the animation, how they do it, it's definitely the same like Puss in Boots.
And even aside from those two, there's also other DreamWorks movies that have their own distinct style, like Dogman, for example, staying true to its
That's more like it's kind of like Captain Underpants, like animation style, right?
Yeah, it is. But they're still stylized because of how experimental they look.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, like, both of them look great. How about Minions 3? Like, how do you feel about Minions 3, considering that it is coming out in 2026, and it pretty much follows up what happens when Gru and the Minions met in Minions 2?
So as you see, the first two Minions movies, it's pretty much the Minions growing up with Gru. Like, you see Gru growing up, during his childhood, he had the Minions by his side, from his caretakers to his henchmen. I want to see Minions 3 take on a more older Gru, like, say, an older teen Gru or a college student Gru.
Something tells me there probably is going to be a college student Gru. Like, if you're going to show him as a kid when he was, getting the Minions back in Minions 2, he now hired the Doctor at the end of Minions 2. And now Minions 3 is going to have him, the Doctor, the Minions, and probably like his way to become the League of Villains or something like that, right?
Yeah, it's probably Gru getting into this villains internship.
Yeah, or like how did he become a villain himself? Yeah. Like, when you saw him in Despicable Me 1, he's already a villain, a well-known villain. But, like, how did he get his name into print? So that's what gets me excited about Minions 3, because, like, I saw Minions 2, and I was pretty excited about it. Like, I was happy about, like, how Minions 2 was. It talks about the story about how Gru met up with the Minions and how they started to become started their reign of villainy, to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and something tells me, like, in 3, I feel like it's going to be a whole lot better to see how the story goes, because it'll tell how Gru became a villain, how the Minions became so reliable to Gru, and a bunch of other things. I know that we're not going to see those sisters or the kids that were with Gru for Despicable Me. I just feel like that's its own franchise now. But Minions is just Gru, the Minions, and the Doctor, just like how he get into villainy. I just like that kind of story. Like, the origin story ain't bad. I'm not going to lie. It's actually pretty good for Minions.
Yeah, I really do like this direction, because the more Minions movies you see, as time goes by, you see Gru and the Minions, his relationship with the Minions, grow even deeper.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see it go, how they go. I want to see the direction they go with the Minions 3 in terms of Gru's development with the Minions.
Mm-hmm. And I have a feeling like this actually makes sense. Again, I think the reason why they actually pushed it into Minions pushed it into earlier date just because it's ready. While Shrek 5 just got the announcement last year, and well, I don't even know how the animation is at the moment. I don't know if they want to rush it now. They announced it, but it doesn't. But to make a movie in 2 years, that's kind of like a long time versus 4 years that took Minions 2 to Minions 3.
There's also, and it goes back to what I was saying about another one of the key big factors being that Despicable movies do sell, especially during summer. So that's another factor that adds to the Minions 3 being pushed back.
Mm-hmm. But either way, these two movies are going to be coming out in 2026. And somebody tells me in 2026, we're having a pretty good time with animation in that year, just because there's a lot of good things happening in 2026. Like these two movies, the Super Mario Nintendo movie,
the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, the second Mario Brothers movie is coming out next year. Yeah, I mean, Universal's looking packed when it comes to animation.
Yeah, Universal has definitely got a game plan during that year.
Indeed. Anything else you want to bring up for this?
Nothing much I want to say, except that I would have preferred if Shrek 5 stuck to its original release date, because, well, I need me some new Shrek as soon as possible. But you know what? This would be good for a satisfying Christmas present. Because it's going to be released during Christmas holiday season.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I'm really excited about how these two movies are going to go. I just feel like it's going to be great with Shrek and Minions. Yeah, but 2026 looks to be promising.
It really does. It really does.
Anyways, but yeah, you're going to be delayed with this kind of movies, but in 2026, they'll be coming out soon.
Yes.
Let me get water just because I'm coughing up a little bit here. Where did my water bottle go? Oh.
We got Dreamworks' biggest flagship, and we got Illumination's biggest flagship right here.
Yeah. Sorry, my throat got a little dry there. Okay, now let's head over to another main subject. Let's head over to another subject that's on our quick news, and unfortunately, we gotta talk about Max. It turns out Max continues to can purge more and more cartoons. That Max right now doesn't have anything for Cartoon Network, does it?
Oh God, HBO Max, more like HBO Min, because they release a minimum amount of cartoons onto what's supposed to be HBO Max. So it leaves you wondering: is it worth paying that much for HBO Max? They're just gonna cut content from their streaming service?
Yeah, I mean, from the way I'm kind of listening to how the news is now for this particular streaming platform, it doesn't look great so far. Considering, well, the only thing that Max is supporting is pretty much HBO and Adult Swim. Like, you've seen how Adult Swim cartoons are at Max? Like, they at least release it the next day, so you can be able to catch up on Invincible Fight Girl,
My Adventures with Superman,
a bunch of other cartoons,
and Smiling Friends as well. So yeah, they're heavily reliant on. They're mostly focused on Adult Swim, like you said, but they're pretty much brushing off Cartoon Network to the side.
And I kind of hate that just because it just feels like,
yeah, because
not doing great.
Cartoon Network, there was a time where Cartoon Network was one of the main networks for Time Warner. Like, it definitely helped carry Time Warner's big name. But unfortunately, Time Warner, like Warner Brothers, is not really treating Cartoon Network with the respect that it deserves for cutting these shows from their streaming service. Mm-hmm. So that means no Flapjack, no Chowder, no Fosters.
None of these cartoons, pretty much. But yeah. let's just see what happened, because in the start of 2025, Max just cut pretty much a lot of shows. So Teen Titans, Ed and Eddie, Green Adventures of Billy and Mandy, the Green Lantern animated series, Looney Tunes show, Static Shock, even their flagship show, Teen Titans Go, is not even on Max anymore. What exactly are they doing? Because there's no even a resource anymore to even watch these cartoons.
Okay, it's one thing to cut some of the Cartoon Network shows aforementioned, but Teen Titans Go, the show that was like on most of the airing on Cartoon Network for most of the time, especially in the 2010s decade, and the Teen Titans Go is what, like you said, the Cartoon Network flagship, and now they're even removing that. If they're even removing even Teen Titans Go, that means that Cartoon Network's kind of dying.
Yeah, I don't even know like what Cartoon Network has anymore, because I'm going to be looking up like what they have right now when it comes to this particular show. So let me actually look up like what Cartoon Network, what's even a Cartoon Network anymore on Max now. So let me see. Sorry, I'm going to be doing this I'm going to look at this right now and see what the heck Cartoon Network is. I just don't see it anymore. Well, Adventure Time is still there, by the way.
Adventure Time is still there. They do have a few modern cartoons from the 2010s here and there, but in terms of the 90s and 2000s, they pretty much have a few to zilch. Yeah, let
me look at like what other cartoons they've got, because we keep on listing down which ones got canceled or which ones got pretty much taken out of Cartoon Network, but we don't actually know what Cartoon Network shows are there anymore. So this is where I'm trying to look up, because I can't even find Cartoon Network anymore. Here we go.
The fact that it's even hard enough, the fact that it's hard to find Cartoon Network itself is a big problem.
Okay, let me check. Teen Titans Go is still here, by the way.
It's still here for now, but they do have. I've heard they have plans to remove it, so you're not going to see it anytime soon.
Okay, so Adventure Time is there, Total Dramarama's there, Teen Titans Go, The Powerpuff Girls, We Baby Bears, which, to be fair, is pretty much the only Cartoon Network show that's based out of Cartoon Network Studios now.
Courage the Cowardly Dog is still there. So.
Yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Craig of the Creek, Finn and Fiona and Cake. yeah, that was pretty much it, which I thought was surprising.
But the thing is that they're there for now. You never
Yeah,
know when they're actually going to get removed
it does
off
stink
of it.
because like some of the old classic cartoons like we grew up loving and watching, like what was it, Dexter's Lab, Possible for Imaginary Friends, Great Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Ed and Eddie, regular show, even like Flapjack, what was it, even Clarence, even Uncle Grandpa. I don't know, like something's going on in Max where they're just saying like we're just eating these cartoons out of Cartoon Network. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
really
making
bad.
it's not making us actually watch it. Like,
It's making you want to unsubscribe because what are you paying that much amount of money for?
Well, to be fair, like Max, it's all a big network itself. So you have like DC shows, you have what was it, Adult Swim shows, you even have the HBO shows.
Yeah, but like you're losing a certain demographic that like watches cartoons mainly. You're losing that demographic because of this move, and that's not a smart move.
Yeah, what I find odd is that it's not even so. Me, I'll talk about Totally Spies, and that's currently on Cartoon Network. What's funny is that it's not even on the Cartoon Network brand, like it's on the Max brand, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, you know why, but seriously,
It also reminds me I need to watch more Totally Spies.
and like I said before, the fact that half or 75% of these shows got caught off of HBO Max is a problem in of itself. But watch the rest of the Cartoon Network shows. Like by the time by the time this year ends, Cartoon Network's going to be completely obsolete.
I think one thing comes to mind. Cartoon Network, like at the moment right now, when you look at it on Max, it doesn't show all the shows because they do have all the cartoons. It's just that it's all spread out. You just have to look it up on Max. Like Tiny Toons University is also still there, by the way. So
yeah, but it shouldn't be that hard to find. Like it should be like when you go to the Max, when you first go to the Max app, it should be somewhat present at least.
Let me check again. Looney Tunes, they have the Looney Tunes cartoons are still here. New Looney Tunes, but you're right. The other Looney Tunes, like the Looney Tunes show, is not actually on here. So
which is a shame because like I know like Looney Tunes shows hasn't been well received, but I'm sorry, I will defend Looney Tunes show.
Also, regular show, because I remember loving regular show when it aired on Cartoon Network, and now it's not there anymore. Now I don't even know where to watch it anymore.
That's a big problem too, because regular show was one of the most popular Cartoon Network shows, at least for that time.
Yeah. So yeah, at the moment right now, I'm disappointed in how Warner Bros. Discovery is pretty much making a mess out of Cartoon Network, because like at the moment, like the only ways you can actually watch Cartoon Network shows is on Max, and it just stinks that sometimes you can't even find it on Max anymore.
Yeah, it's a big mess right now. It doesn't even deserve the title HBO Max anymore because it doesn't live up to it.
Well, we discussed this. Well, here, another thing too is that we also discussed this before in an episode, like how bad is Cartoon Network? There you go. Like it just feels like Warner Bros. Discovery just doesn't care about the Cartoon Network brand anymore.
Yeah, this is another prime example of
like
this.
Is it about time where they like unplug the cable network itself? Like we still have Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network as the main three, but like comes a time where they will probably unplug Cartoon Network from the cable or something.
Considering how it's lying on its deathbed.
But then what will happen after they lose the network on cable? You want to watch it on streaming, but you cannot find the shows on streaming because Max is kind of treating it like shit.
Yeah, and the only way you can even watch Cartoon Network shows is if you buy the seasons on Amazon Prime Video or Apple or something like that.
Yeah. Again, Cartoon Network right now and Max is kind of like not really on a deathbed, it's just more of like on a lost cause right now. Because all the shows are randomized. Like, I could actually look up Total Drama Island on the Cartoon Network brand. But when I look up Totally Spies, when I look up like other cartoons that are on Cartoon Network that are in there, you have to look it up. You actually have to look it up on the Max website. Like, you go on the app, look up the name, the brand, or the name of the cartoon that you're going to be watching, and it's right there.
Like, you have to resort
to... It's just that you cannot look at it on the Cartoon Network tab.
Like, you have to resort to looking it up at a search bar in order to find it, yeah.
It's just that...
Which you don't want to do.
Which sucks. It sucks. But, like, if anything... Besides the Cartoon Network shows, there are still a lot of other shows that Max is doing really well with. Like, what was it? My Adventures with Superman. You had Invisible Fight Girl. You have Totally Spies. You have, what was it? So many other, like, hit cartoons. Smiling Friends on Adult Swim. I just have a feeling, like, at the moment right now, Max is going to still thrive, but it just stinks that they're going to leave Cartoon Network aside.
Yeah, it really does. And as someone who grew up with Cartoon Network, it really does dishearten me that Cartoon Network's getting treated like this.
I'm just waiting for the time when Cartoon Network is actually dead, that we're going to be discussing Cartoon Network and finalizing the talk about Cartoon Network.
Oh, that'll be a main subject in and of itself.
Yeah, I mean, you have seen kids networks come and go. Remember Hub? Remember Universal Kids? Remember I don't know. It's a lot of other networks that were for kids that ended up like being on their deathbeds. So
4Kids. How's 4Kids doing?
Oh, that's dead. That is dead. How would you bring that up? Oh, Funimation, that's dead. Got bought out by Crunchyroll.
So yeah, kids networks do come and go, and it's sad but we're talking about Cartoon Network, which is one of the big three.
Yeah.
So that makes it all the more devastating.
I mean, we grew up with Cartoon Network, and I'm just saying, like, if this is how Warner Bros. Discovery is pretty much ruining Cartoon Network, how it's gonna kill Cartoon Network, then it's a very disappointing ride for how the network has been.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Amen.
So if you were trying to watch your favorite like Cartoon Network shows, they may not be on the app anymore. You probably have to look at somewhere else.
I can't watch the ads anymore.
Maybe you have to watch it over at what was it, on Amazon Prime. Buy the episodes there, or you can also be like Luffy the Pirate and pirate it somewhere.
Yo ho!
Although we don't recommend it. So
yeah, no, piracy is wrong no matter what.
Exactly. So again, big fans of Cartoon Network. I'm just like gripping on my gripes right now about Cartoon Network because I do love some certain shows on the network, but they're not made by the Cartoon Network people, like Totally Spies and Total Drama Island. So yeah, it's so like 50-50 for me when it comes to Cartoon Network.
It gives you all the less reason to subscribe to HBO Max.
Although I'm still subscribing just because they still have HBO and DC and Sesame Street and so many other things.
Penguin alone is worth staying subscribed to HBO Max.
How about How about Last Week Tonight with John Oliver? Game of Thrones.
Okay, John Oliver, yes. Game of Thrones, only the first 6 seasons.
Who cares? It's still a show that will be there forever.
And also, Peacemaker Season 2 is coming. So
I'm telling you, you're going to keep your subscription, man. You're going to keep your subscription.
Of course I am.
Yeah. You said you're going to cancel. Yeah.
I never said I'm going to cancel, but I'm saying, it gives subscribers...
But you're making us believe that you're going to cancel it. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I mean, I can't.
Yeah, I cannot bail out on Max. If anything, it's just the way that they're treating Cartoon Network. I can't say much. Yeah. Either way, good luck trying to find your Cartoon Network shows, everybody.
Yeah, and save up money for when you buy the seasons. Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy it. I'm just gonna wallow it or something. I don't know. Anyways, let's continue on with the other news that also did hit us. Last Friday, it was so interesting when I was recording with my bros from the CaliCon broadcast, but my friend did bring up the news about a certain band that worked on this particular anime called Fulikuli.
Fulikuli!
Yeah, so let's actually talk about Fulikuli for a little bit because, okay, the show so it's weird because they had like multiple seasons of Fulikuli and they had 6 episodes of it each. I know everybody loves the OG season 1 just because you had, these people out here that are turned out to be like chaotic and crazy.
Yeah, you had Naruto, who, if you watched as a teenager, you definitely relate to him because it deals with the themes of him growing up and such. And then you got Haruko, who's
Haruko is always the best one out of it all, just because in every freaking like season of Fulikuli, except the last one, Haruka has been throughout the entire show, and she turned out to be amazing. Also, shout out to Carrie Walgren. You're amazing as was it Haruka?
Yeah, see, Haruko is the poster child for FLCL. So, of course, you expect her to show up in each and every single FLCL season.
Yeah.
So,
but I know the first one was just absolutely absolutely great. I just remember watching it all the time when it was on Adult Swim, just like turning it on, seeing the chaotic stuff that happened in Fulikuli.
Yeah. And wacky shenanigans happen, especially when Haruko bangs Naoto's head with her guitar she has.
Yeah.
And then you see Naoto's satellite dish or head turning weird, like
the whole thing coming out of his head.
The whole thing coming out.
Although to be fair, like there are other seasons of Fulikuli that also did come up, and to be fair, they've not been that great. Second and third season, I remember watching that, and I was like kind of turned off about it.
Yeah.
And then season 4 and 5 sucked. I don't know. Like season 4, I think was a callback to the first season of FLCL, maybe.
I only saw the first 3 seasons. I'm gonna say this right now: original, masterpiece, progressive, awful, alternative, mid.
Okay, what about 4 and 5? Because they also did come out for Fully Cooley.
Never seen them.
Yeah, but I know 4 was supposed to be like a retelling of the first season, because I did see the robot again. I saw Haruko again. I saw the kid again. So something tells me it was a retelling of the first season, and it was also the different animation style. So
yeah, exactly. I did see that the newest FLCL series did have its own unique animation style because of how it was computer animated.
If anything,
3D animated.
If anything, I do need to watch like the other Fully Cooley seasons, because I know that it did go downhill from there, but I mean, it's Fully Cooley. Haruko is still like a legendary character in the franchise. Yeah. Although it sucks that in season 5, I don't think we saw her in season 5. But again, I have to watch it.
Yeah, I can't really say anything about seasons 4 or 5 because I haven't seen them.
But we just have to say this. This is a masterpiece, though.
Yes, this is an all-time classic. Yeah. All-time classic.
Although, if you all remember how Fully Cooley was, I think some of you will love it because of the music.
Oh yeah, the music is what helps carry FLCL.
Like, they have an amazing soundtrack for all the seasons of Fully Cooley, and you got to thank the Pillows, because they're the ones who actually make the music. They made the ending, Ride on a Shooting Star. They made all the music in season 1, which we all love. Like, what was it? Crazy Sunshine. I Think I Can. What was it?
Last Dinosaur. Little Busters.
Little Busters. Yeah.
Thank You My Twilight. Star.
Well, Thank You My Twilight was on second season. Yeah. Thank You My Twilight was the second season, and I think there was also a third one. I know they've always done the endings for Fully Cooley, and yeah, the Pillows were always been an amazing band. And I remember when we were back in like 2018, 2017, we actually went to a concert because they were promoting, I don't know, Adult Swim was promoting season 2, season 3 of Fully Cooley, and they were performing in San Francisco. And I'm like, this is the only time we can actually watch Pillows. So you, me, and a couple of friends, we ended up watching the Pillows concert, and that was just
it was an experience.
Awesome.
It was such an experience.
Yeah, we all partied up with the band. Not like the band was performing. We were all partying up. We were all just like singing the songs. Crazy Sunshine.
Where they kissed all day.
Yeah. And then Ride on Shooting Star, you know.
I Think I Can.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, like, they have some amazing like songs for the band, which I thought was cool. And I do love the fact that they continued on for season 2 and season 3 for Fully Cooley, which is awesome. Although, we do have some bad news to actually talk to you about, because as of Friday, as I was recording with the bros for the Calicon blog, they gave me the bad news that they have disbanded. So, the Pillows are no more.
Oh, why?
All right, Omid, we have to talk about this. When you heard about the news, what were your reactions? Because, obviously, heartbreak, sadness, can you explain more?
When you shared with me the news about this, I looked at my phone and I thought to myself, no, it can't be true. Why? Oh, God, why? Just when 2025 couldn't get any worse, this happens. Why? It's just because Pillows was such an iconic band. They were such an iconic Japanese alternative rock band. I really did think that they had such great chemistry. And not only did their music is really great on its own to listen to, but also it was a perfect blend into the FLCL series. The music helped incorporate it into FLCL to make it series better.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's so uplifting, and plus, like, every song that they've done just matches with whatever they did in Fully Cooley. Like, you get to see all of the songs from I Think I Can to Little Busters. I just remember hearing all of those songs and just vibing with whatever was going on in Fully Cooley. Like, they always continue to make like amazing songs for the show that it just matches with whatever was happening in the show. But the fact that they disbanded, I'm like, what happened? That's the one thing that came to mind. Like, what happened? What made them disband? Because according to what the tweet said, like, if you actually saw the tweet that they disbanded, if you saw the tweet before that, they were performing in Japan somewhere. So I don't know what happened. Like, did they just say we quit and disbanded from there?
Yeah, I don't know what the ultimate reason was for them disbanding in the first place. Rather it be each performer have their own plans in the future, or maybe they have their own personal beef or whatnot. But still, though, it is sad.
I didn't get it, because they did perform literally the day before that tweet came out, and I'll read the tweet later on. But they put out a picture saying that they were performing in a place in Japan, and then literally the next day they said they disbanded. I'm like, this is a surprise. What the frick happened? And no one's gonna discuss it. I mean, pretty much people are going to be putting up conspiracy theories here and there about what happened. Maybe some internal beef with the band, or maybe unfair pay, or maybe something happened between the two members or something that they decided to break up.
I'm gonna say this right now: is the conspiracy theories don't help, so it is best to wait for the actual evidence. Or
yeah, I mean they'll come out eventually, but I mean, oh my god, it just gets us gets us all thinking about what happened, because look, we grew up with Fully Cooley back in the 2010s, watching their show, listening to the music, freaking watching their concert, and we were all hype about the Fully Cooley the Pillows. Now you're telling me that they disbanded like this?
This is very upsetting.
It's like saying Flo disbanded, and we're all heartbroken, you know? Like, whenever you hear a band, was it break up, and it's one of your favorite bands, obviously you're going to feel heartbroken or something.
Obviously, yeah, because when you're a fan of a band, you like to think of the band as their own small family. Like, not only is their music great, but their chemistry is great.
Right. And I don't know, again, we're going to be obviously conspiring what the heck happened to Pillows, but sometime in the future, we're going to have a big answer for it. But they did leave off a message, by the way. I'll read the tweet out for you guys now. So, according to what the tweet says, and this was actually in Japanese, so we did translate it. And it says here, to all fans of the Pillows, thank you for always supporting the Pillows. This is a sudden announcement, but the Pillows officially disbanded following their show at KZEP Yokohama on January 31st. So, told you, it's very recent. What are we at right now? The 5th?
Yeah.
So, it's 6 days ago.
Literally,
wow.
Yeah, it just happened recently, which, yeah, it left me kind of, it left me kind of like with a shock, like, whoa, this happened recently.
I don't know what happened. The members sincerely thank all the fans for the constant support over the past 35 years. These years have been a truly memorable journey, and it's all thanks to the fans. The bands hesitated to use the word, quote, disbanded, as it is a strong term. However, they decided to use it rather than leave room for expectations for a future reunion. This tells me they're not going to reunite. They're not even thinking about a reunion band or a reunion tour or anything.
That is a red flag in and of itself. Because even when you disband, as long as you're in good terms, you would actually have a little reunion of some sorts, whether it be a reunion concert or rather be a reunion gathering or anything like that.
But no, they decided to say it's rather leave room for expectations for a future reunion. They used the term for disbanded. So they're not going to meet up anytime soon.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. The members are deeply grateful to the fans who valued their music and supported them throughout their career. They hope to meet the fans again throughout their individual activities in the future. So something tells me each of them are going to do their own thing.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for supporting the Pills for 35 years.
So I think it happens where, like when you're in a band or when you're in a group of content creators, you have the vision, your own vision you want to achieve, which is not bad in of itself. And if each of them have their own vision of what they want to do individually, honestly, I root for their success.
Yeah, I would root for their success as well. But I mean, man, just leaving out the Pillows, like they have been such a great band for all of us. I mean, it's pretty much saying goodbye to a band that like worked on anime for so long. Like
anime, and especially
just like Flo, for example, like they've worked on anime for so long. I mean, like TM Revolution, they worked in anime for a very long time.
Maximum the Hormone has worked for.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, like if these bands ended up breaking up or like ended up not being together for a while, then something did happen. And for the Pillows, it is a mystery for us to actually solve later on in the future. But yeah, just the fact that it just happened a couple days ago and that the Pillows have officially called it disbanded now.
Well, so we're not going to see another Pillows concert.
No, we're not going to see it. So unfortunately, we're not going to see another Pillows concert. Somebody tells me we're not even going to see another Fully Cooley show anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go that far. I'm sure they're going to have another band to perform for the next Fully Cooley series.
I mean, like if they're going to make another Fully Cooley series, it'll probably be a different band. But like, I don't expect another Fully Cooley series because I know they're the ones that always have driven Fully Cooley to what it was. Like, the music, the soundtrack that they make have always been what Fully Cooley is all about.
It is true. You can't have a Fully Cooley series without the Pillows performing.
Right. So I have a feeling Fully Cooley is probably done by now. Like it's gone. So
I'm not going to say that FL's like Fully Cooley like completely relies on the pillows. Fully Cooley could get another Japanese rock band to play for their music, and they would turn out fine. But it's just that they have to get used to the new band as opposed to the pillows.
Yeah. Either way, Pillows has now been disbanded. Obviously, we've all been saddened with the news that this is going to be the end for the Pillows band, and possibly the end of Fully Cooley. But if anything, I remember the memories that we had with. The Pillows, going to their concert, listening to Fully Cooley, watching Fully Cooley and listening to their music all the time. I mean, their music is still on Apple Music and Spotify, so if you want to listen to Pillows, they're right there for you. But if you're try to look for a concert with them, they're probably not going to happen anymore. But either way, thank you very much, Pillows, for all you've done. It does suck being a great fan of yours, and it stinks.
Thank you, Pillows, for all the wonderful music that you've created. I listen to it every day, and your music is what keeps me going. And Godspeed to each and every one of you on your future endeavors.
Yeah, really hope the best for all the members of the Pillows. Yeah. It's it sucks. All right. Yeah. Well, besides that, let's actually head over to something a little bit much more happier than what we went through now.
Yes, we've gone through bad news after bad news, but let's get to the good news.
Yeah. So let's actually talk about our main subject tonight and actually talk about Flow. Well, the movie Flow was an interesting movie to say. So let's actually talk about what Flow is all about. And the movie was made in Latvia. It was pretty much a non-dialogue movie. It was all about animals surviving a flood that happened. Mm-hmm. We talk about there was a cat, there was a dog, there was a lemur, there was a capybara, and a white majestic-looking bird sailing across the water looking for food, shelter, and doing whatever it takes to survive. So let's talk about overall movie. What are your thoughts about it overall?
I thought that the Flow was such a calm, soothing, and experimental, well-made movie. And I like how not only does the movie look stylized, but I like the direction they take to having the characters having no dialogue.
It's quite interesting because it's so different. Because yes, it's just animals literally just trying to survive, because it's an odd concept from the way I saw how the story is, because it's pretty much animals trying to cope with each other as they try to get through a flood that happened in their land.
Yeah, so of course you've got a gray cat, you got a lemur, you got a Labrador dog, and you got a majestic bird all trying to survive. And
well, to be fair, that bird has other birds. Again, some people may not know about the movie because it's not on theaters anymore, but these creatures are all different, because I know cat versus dog, dogs hate cats and cats hate dogs. Lemurs are a little bit interesting because they like protective stuff. I don't know if that's a lemur's point of view, but they do like shiny things, which I thought was interesting. Capybara is just a capybara. I just feel like they just added the capybara because everybody loves capybaras now.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but going back to this, it's nice to see a animated movie that has no dialogue, because it really does show how you can have a well-crafted story with no dialogue.
The story was pretty much straightforward, and that was the good thing about it. But how do you like the flow of the movie? I love the fact that we actually put some parody or puns in it. But it feels like, I get it, the point of the stories are all over there. A cat is trying to survive, and I think the main character is the cat, because we only focused on the cat, but then all the other supporting characters that were around the cat were also needed some focus as well. Like the dog came back for the cat because the cat saved the dog. And there's some other backstories that also happened as well. How did the cat find this house? What happened to the humans? Because apparently there were statues of humans that are around. What happened to the humans? Yeah. There's some huge backstories that we never got answered for Flow.
Yeah, there's never any humans in Flow, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, because what the movie's trying to do is it's trying to make it a animal heavily focused story. Have it be the animals only and not the humans.
And there's some visual stuff that I think was a good thing about Flow, because it's actually visually stunning. The whole different style of animation that this Latvian company has made, we get the point of it all. These animals are all working together, and they are all looking great to say. Yeah.
It also helps that each of them have their own personalities, and they presented with their different animal traits and everything. Like
what I find funny is that some of the animals actually know direction. So the capybara knows how to steer. Same with the bird that knows how to steer away from like storms and like collisions and stuff.
Yeah, like the now the cat is of course the cautious one. The dog is the fun, friendly, happy one. And then you got the majestic bird who serves as the leader and the protector of the cat, especially.
Although, to be fair, that bird didn't really go to the boat until like later on in the movie. So
no, he didn't. But there was actually so much to the bird that meets the eye. I feel like he symbolizes.
Yeah,
something.
I'm wondering what that was all about. The whole symbolism for the bird, because there was like this one iconic moment that happened where like the cat and the bird did something, and I'm like, what happened? It just feels like there was some sort of Jesus moment happening.
It was the cat. The great cat was about to the great cat almost dodged death multiple times, and it's thanks to the bird that saves the cat.
Yeah, he has, and the bird has saved him a lot.
Yeah.
And then like I get it, he was trying to get fish, and then like you can understand like the whole nature of like what was it animals itself, like. You know, the cat ended up getting all the fish, but then somebody ate all the fish. The dogs ate all the fish. And then the cat hated it. You know, that kind of thing. The lemur got all of his stuff destroyed, and then he hates
one greedy lemur.
Yeah, well, to be fair, like he was stealing a lot of like shiny stuff, and you could see back in his place that he stole a lot of shiny stuff until the flood came in and washed it all away. Mm-hmm. So obviously, he needed to go back into the boat too.
Yeah. So I think what the bird symbolizes is that with the wings, he serves as like the cat's, protecting angel, angel protector.
And then what happened was that, the whole thing happened where the bird and the cat, did its thing, and then the flood, and then obviously things went back to normal. So something tells me the bird did something for it.
It's like the guardian angel.
What I saw in the end of the movie felt like we're doing this all over again, aren't we?
Yeah, it's like you survived one natural disaster, one flood, and now you gotta survive the other.
Yeah, because like when I saw the cat seeing the water again and like seeing a dead fish or something, or a whale about to die or something like that. Then they see like what is it, the stack of like deer running around and stuff. Mm-hmm. Something tells me it's gonna come back again, and I'm like, oh, so a flow 2, huh?
See, the movie is way too artistic to have a flow 2.
Yeah.
I feel like the intent of the movie was to stand out on its own.
Yeah, and it did stand out of its own because, like, the animation style was just absolutely great. The story, pretty much without dialogue, it's pretty straightforward. Although sometimes there are some side stories here and there that makes you think, like, what is happening with the cat? What is he thinking? What is the bird thinking? What is the dog thinking,
And it's one of those movies that's a show don't tell sort of direction, so you have to look carefully. You have to pay attention to how the animals emote, how they show emotion. Then you can tell from the animals' emotions what they're thinking.
I'm just saying though, like this movie was actually like it was good. Like I'll have to say this, it was good. It was animated really well. Although to be fair, it took me a while to actually get the point of the story. Like I'm watching it. And I'm sitting down saying like, oh, this happened. Oh, that happened. Then I have to actually like think about it. Like, is that what the Oscars are looking at right now? Is like, oh, this is actually made really well that made the person want to go back to watch the movie again.
It's not one of those, I'm going to be honest, it's not a kind of movie that makes you think very deeply. It's one of those that...
There's so much symbolism. That's a problem. Like, they show a lot of symbolism for like certain moments that happen between the cat, for example.
It's one of those movies that gets you mesmerized, takes you along for the ride. Mm-hmm. Because, like I said, it has this like calm, soothing atmosphere to it. Aside from the flood scenes, especially aside from the natural disaster scenes, when you see the animals together sailing, you just can't help but feel relaxed when you're in the movie theater.
Right. But either way, there were some key moments that happened in flow, but it was pretty much a pretty straightforward story. For like an hour and 30 minutes, you're pretty much watching animals ride through a freaking flood.
Yeah.
So how would you rate Flow overall?
I would rate it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. Interesting.
9 out of 10 because it would what keeps it from being from 10 out of 10 was that there are just a few scenes here and there where I felt it either dragged or maybe it could have conveyed the plot a little more. But for the most part, I understood what the movie was going for, and I admire the show don't tell aspect of the story, as well as the stylus animation and music.
If anything, I think the animation style what got me. It's just that it does get a little bit confusing here and there for me to actually like understand the movie. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Like, honestly, I thought other movies are kind of better than Flow, like Wild Robot and Inside Out 2. I think it's like third out of the crop. Like, if we're talking about movies back in 2024 that were great, I would say Flow would be in the third spot next to Inside Out 2 and Wild Robot.
Wild Robot is definitely the best of the three, but in terms of Inside Out 2 and Flow, it's kind of interchangeable. Inside Out 2's greatest strength of the
So
three
what would you say your favorite movie was in 2024? Wild Robot, right? Or was it Inside Out 2?
Wild Robot is the best of the three.
Okay.
Yeah, but Inside Out 2 and Flow, and all three of them have their own strengths. Inside Out 2 being the most relatable, Flow being the most experimental.
Indeed, yeah. And to be fair, Flow was a great movie, and it literally deserves so, because when we actually watched currently right now is award season. January pretty much started all with the Golden Globes, and what was kind of shocking was the fact that like the nominees for the Golden Globes for Best Animated Feature actually had Flow as one of the nominees, along with Inside Out 2. Was it The Wild Robot, Wallace and Gromit, and Moana 2? Which, to be fair, like when I heard Moana 2 actually got nominated, I'm like, are you on crack? Because that was definitely not great.
Questionable.
Yeah, because that was hugely questionable. I'm like Moana 2? Really? That kind of made me think about like, no way, that's like a 0% chance for it to actually win. But in the end of it all, during the whole ceremony, we did get to see our winner, and it was Flow. So your thoughts about the fact that out of all like companies that ended up making like these animated films, like from DreamWorks making Wild Robot to Disney and Pixar making Inside Out 2, out of all these companies, it's this Latvian company winning the whole Golden Globe itself.
Yeah, I'm going to say this was quite an upset for a Latvian animated movie to beat out all the movies that the grand majority of them are American animated.
Yeah.
So it goes to show that this is a big dub for Latvia. Yeah,
this is a huge dub indeed, because like I thought my money was just going to be all on Wild Robot because of how great the story was, how greatly animated it is, how engaging it was. Same with Inside Out 2. Like everybody was relatable to what Inside Out 2 was all about. Like having those new emotions, Riley growing up. And I thought like both those movies had a chance to actually make it into probably winning the Oscar. But out of all this, it was Flow, and that made me want to go to a freaking theater and actually watch Flow.
Yeah. Yeah, the minute I saw Flo win the Golden Globes, because I haven't seen the movie yet at that time either, so Flo winning the Golden Globe was enough for me to go into the theater to watch it. Mm-hmm. And I could see why it won the Golden Globe. I was happy for it. I would have preferred if Wild Robot won.
I preferred it too. That's my thing. That was my money on. I was gonna bet on it for sure that Wild Robot was gonna win. But now that the Oscars is coming in a couple months soon, now I'm kind of thinking like maybe I shouldn't really put money on it anymore, knowing that Flo actually won. Yeah. It makes you think like for these next upcoming awards that are going to be presented, from the Annies to the GLAAD Awards to the Oscars, do you think Flo will have a chance to win them all?
I'm going to say this, just because it won for a Golden Globe does not automatically mean that it's going to win for every single
But it has been
category.
The trending thing. Like last year, The Boy in the Heron won the Golden Globe and it won the Oscar.
The only exception being, there is an exception to that, and that's Missing Link winning a Golden Globe, surprisingly, while Toy Story 4 won
Although, to be fair, that year was weird when it comes to animation. How did those two films win? Because Missing Link was okay. I haven't seen it, honestly. And Toy Story 4, why did that win? Because
Klaus should have won.
Exactly. Exactly.
But going back to this, I have a feeling like while there's a high chance that Flo could win the Oscar as well, there is a slight chance that it could go to a different film.
But say for example, like the odds are like out there right now, and I have a feeling like at the moment Flo is favored. Will you go for the underdog now when it comes to The Wild Robot or Inside Out 2?
Oh, I'm always gonna go for Wild Robot no matter what. But if Flo wins, for example, I'll be happy for that too, because I love that movie as well.
Mm-hmm. It also for Flo, it did get nominated for Best International Feature as well. So they have two chances to win 2 Oscars. Yeah, they have a chance to win 2 Oscars for this year's Oscars. So
I'm going for Flo to win Best International Feature. I
think there are other better movies than Flo, to be honest. Because if you look at the other international films, there are some that are actually pretty impactful. So I'm not. Again, we'll do Oscars whenever it comes in soon. But yeah, the Best Animated Feature definitely has those 3 again. And now it makes you think like, oh my God, can Flo win it again?
it's the big three of this year's award ceremonies.
Last
year's award ceremony. Like, these are the big three.
Yeah, because it came out last year. This year they were going to present it all, if anything.
Like, you got three gigantic titans.
My thing right now is that I hope Wild Robot does win something, because it does deserve it. If anything, I really hope it wins the Annie Award, because it also was nominated for Best Feature there, and I think it should win for Wild Robot.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it should win the Annie. But
Wild Robot's the best of them all, but I still love Wild Robot, Flo and Inside Out 2 all the same. But yeah, congrats to Flo for this.
Yeah, congrats to Flo for this. But I mean, it just makes you think, like, what is happening with animation now? You pretty much, the fact that Flo beat out Disney, beat out Dreamworks, beat out Aardman, like, you didn't expect this at all, that a certain small animation company from a different country was going to win a big, like, award that is here based in the United States.
Yeah, and lo and behold, like, this happened.
It's just shocking. And this brings up to the point that we're going to be putting up today. What is happening with animation now? Because all these small companies that have been animating cartoons here and there on YouTube, on all social media, on Newgrounds, on all these kind of websites, are now getting a lot of everybody's attention now.
Yeah, this is definitely, we're in an era where indie animation is getting recognized now more than ever.
Yeah, and tonight we actually want to showcase two big companies, because that's the only companies that we know. I know that there's so many other companies on YouTube. I mean, I did talk to you about this particular one that came out that talked about total drama characters. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's its own animation company as well, and they're making total drama characters and putting it on YouTube.
Yeah, I haven't seen that channel. I'll definitely get to it.
I subscribe to it, and I'm like, dude, this is literally the characters of Total Drama, but different voice actors, new animation people just making the animation for the characters, and I'm like, this is brilliant. Yeah, this is neat.
Yeah, they're taking some of the most recognizable characters from past Total Drama seasons, and they're putting it to their own channel.
They put Noah in it, and they put
Lightning. They put
Lightning in it. They put Julia in it. Like, I love it. Why don't they do something like this? They started putting Total Drama.
Fresh TV missed the mark by not doing that.
Indeed, yeah. So I'm just telling you out there. Again, so many indie animation companies are out there. They're starting up their own animation companies and are doing what they can to at least make amazing projects out there. And somehow we're missing the mark, or maybe somebody in the big industry is like seeing it and saying like, hey, we want you to make a big contract for it. And that's what happened to a certain company that we're going to be discussing right now. You may know this particular logo.
VisiPop!
Yeah, but it is VisiPop. You know her, Vivienne Medrano. She's the one who actually made all the amazing cartoons from Hell of a Boss to Hazbin Hotel. And let's actually discuss it, because first off, the main one is obviously Hazbin Hotel. And I don't know if you guys recognize it, because some of you probably were a little bit young back in 2018 or something like that, but the pilot for Hazbin Hotel came out during that year, and that was made by Vivienne.
Yeah.
The cartoon was just absolutely great. So it was only a pilot. We get to see the characters of Hazbin Hotel, from Charlie to the announcers to Alistair to Angel to Vaggie, and it just made us all very impressed with it. You saw the pilot back in 2018. How were your thoughts about that?
The moment I saw the pilot, I was so drawn into it. When I saw the pilot, I thought to myself, okay, Hazbin Hotel is a nice mix of, Disney princess with a mixture of Ren and Stimpy like exaggerated animation, combined with its animation style that reminds me of the 2000s Cartoon Network shows. That's pretty much the best way to describe Hazbin Hotel. It's very experimental. I really do.
Yeah, back then, this was back 5 years ago, so it's like around 2020, 2019 to say. That's when Vivienne actually brought down Hazbin Hotel. But I just remember watching it. I just remember everybody was like hyping about it all over Twitter, all over Facebook. And then I decided to actually watch it myself, and I was impressed. It was all about this one girl named Charlie who made a hotel, trying to like forgive people from hell.
Yeah,
and
she's trying to redeem sinners.
And the other thing too is that the whole concept of hell was all laid out right there in the pilot. Like, everybody was evil. They're like talking about sex. They're talking about smut, like a lot of drugs, all this kind of
basically
illegal,
sinners.
a lot of a whole bunch of sinners. And that pretty much laid out the concept of what hell was going to be about and what Charlie wants to do. Because, yes, she's the princess of hell. But, like, are you trying to be the princess to actually forgive these sinners to go back to heaven? That was her goal and everything. Yeah. But in the end, it's like, it's a big concept, and the only way that what's kind of crazy that the pilot ended with Alistair saying, "What do you think?" And I'm like, what? This is how it ends? And then obviously this made people want to grab more and more. That's why everyone was donating to her Patreon, to so many things to help support it.
Yeah, it was a mixture of Vivian's Patreon being heavily funded. So it was because of the money that she got to work on the Hazbin Hotel pilot in the first place. And also there's also the factor of this being the Hazbin Hotel pilot being heavily viewed on her YouTube channel.
Yeah, and obviously that also brought up some revenue for her as well. But I mean, there was so many like things about it that it made me think like, why don't we have a series? Why don't we have something new about Hazbin Hotel?
Oh, for many years I have been longing for a Hazbin Hotel series because they can't just end it right there with the pilot. You got to expand upon it.
Yeah, and thankfully because of all the support that Vivian ended up getting, they were able to actually make a series for Hazbin Hotel. And something tells me that was about to be put out on YouTube and all, but the whole contract with Amazon Prime, it made it not an indie animated cartoon anymore, but more of a mainstream cartoon, don't you think?
Yeah. What you got to keep in mind about Hazbin Hotel is that it is a success story in and of itself. From going from a indie pilot video that was released on YouTube to being a now widely known popular series, that's a huge success story for Hazbin Hotel, and I'm so proud of it.
What's kind of surprising is that I know that for Hazbin Hotel, it came out in 2024. Like the first episode of Hazbin Hotel came out last year, and it took 5 years to make the cartoon.
Yeah.
and look at it now. Like at the moment, it's successful. Anybody who's is like writing on Hazbin Hotel. Like,
oh yeah,
I just remember, I don't know if people actually watched it back in 2019 when it first came out on its pilot, but something tells me like there are some new people that watched it. Like there's the new people that actually like hyped it to her friends and stuff to tell them, hey, let's watch this. And in the end, it now became a huge success story for Hazbin Hotel. Like you've seen how popular it is now, from the merchandise that it has in Hot Topic to all the cosplayers that are currently cosplaying in all the conventions.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh my God, Hazbin Hotel has been such a success story that it started by just one pilot back in 2019.
Yeah, not to mention the loads of fan art that you see everywhere.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, like, obviously a lot of people would just hop onto a fan art and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, the whole entire franchise of Hazbin Hotel has been so successful. And what's best of all, we have 3 more seasons of Hazbin Hotel. So,
yes, and on top of that, yeah, as Nate mentioned before, Hazbin Hotel got greenlit for 3 more seasons. So we're gonna see more of this show. And you wouldn't think that a short pilot back in 2019 would accomplish such a feat, but here we are now.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean when I say that Hazbin Hotel proves that even when you have a small indie Cartoon Network promo for like last 15 minutes to 30 minutes, anything can happen to your show. You can end up becoming very successful years to come. You can even have like not 1, not 2, but 3 seasons of your show.
Well, to be fair, Hazbin Hotel has been absolutely a blast, and it made sense why this has been such a success. And I really hope Vivian and her crew continues to make more and more Hazbin Hotel. Obviously, don't milk the hell out of the franchise, but the franchise is doing very popular right now. I can't wait for whatever new project happens for Hazbin Hotel. Something tells me, like, look, they have their own merch store. Do you know that?
Yeah, I haven't visited their merch store, to be honest.
So they have their own merch store, and they have trading cards, and I want to get it, but they keep on selling out every time I go to the website.
Yeah.
Don't I want a very shiny Charlie card, or a very shiny Nifty card, or a Lucifer card?
Like, I'm familiar with the merch store, but I have plenty of Hazbin Hotel merch, but it's not from the website, it's from other outlets, but I do want to check out the store.
Yeah, I mean, look, Hot Topic has been selling so much stuff, like t-shirts. You're wearing a t-shirt right now.
Yes. Representing Husker Dust. Let's go.
Indeed. And then you have like so many other things, like a jacket, a pajama. Dude, you're wearing so much stuff, by the way. Look at that. See?
Show my love for the show.
So much stuff about Hazbin Hotel. I'm telling you, it's such a big success story.
Yeah, show my love for a show that has been my hyperfixation for the majority of 2024.
Yeah. So if anything, like indie cartoons, I mean, it can start out small, like a pilot episode on YouTube, but it can thrive as well, just like what Hazbin Hotel has done. So I want to give props out to Vivian for that, because it has been such a great success story for Hazbin Hotel to see how it was from a small video to such a big franchise at the moment.
Yeah, and overall, if you want to know our thoughts on this series overall, check it. We did a review one time of the show, and of course, we both love it for its creativity,
Yeah.
its themes, and all that, and
Yeah.
characters.
Now, Vivian has not. Vivian has obviously worked on other projects as well. It's not just all about Hazbin Hotel, but it's all about Hell of a Boss. It's also based in Hell, and it's a different story compared to what Hazbin Hotel is all about.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Hell of a Boss, honestly. I know it's on YouTube, but that continues to be an indie cartoon success. Your thoughts on? I mean, you've seen it. What are your thoughts on Hell of a Boss?
Now, my thoughts on Hell of a Boss are that, like, I enjoyed Hell of a Boss for what it was. It is flawed in comparison to Hazbin Hotel, but Hell of a Boss, the stuff they get right, they get hella good.
Like, it had how many seasons now? 2 seasons?
It has 2 seasons. It has a few shorts and a few music videos here and there. But
okay, so if anything, they are continuing to thrive with that. Like, look, they're just a small indie. Like, Vivian Pop is like a small indie company also, but they're not really franchising Hell of a Boss just yet. Who knows? They might come to Netflix, like what happened at Major Digital Circus.
Or they may join Hazbin in the Amazon.
I know, yeah, they could do that too, because like the success story about Hell of a Boss, like it's getting so many fans as well. Like people are cosplaying the folks in Hazbin Hotel. I've seen, what was it, Helliverse stuff. Like people love the Helliverse, so they get to see Hell of a Boss stuff, Hazbin Hotel stuff. But yeah, this is also another success story itself. But it's kind of interesting how Vivian never really brought this up to a streaming service or a network or anything.
Yeah, it got me thinking, like, how is it that Hell of a Boss never got to any sort of streaming service? Because it went a different direction than it did Hazbin, because this was strictly YouTube, keep in mind. Like, so this was strictly on the internet.
And to be fair, like, some people just watch it for free and, you know, they end up having success story for it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, eventually I'll have to watch Hell of a Boss. I know that it finished up season 2, so... And I know there's going to be more in production for Hell of a Boss, because considering how its fandom is also huge as well.
Yes.
But overall, this is one successful company that Vivian has made. Like, since 2019, making Hazbin Hotel, and the fact that she continued on working with Hell of a Boss, and who knows what's next for Vivian Pop. But it just tells you a success story about how this company continues to thrive and does really well.
Yeah, I eagerly await for a upcoming new series from VivziePop. Like, I hope we get a third VivziePop series.
Yeah. Well, how happy are you for the success of like VivziePop here?
I'm very happy for VivziePop because I do love both her shows and how stylized they are. Like, she has her own style in which all the characters have their own shapes and sizes, like ranging from demons to furry creatures, and then they all reside in hell, which is the last place you expect a cartoon to take place. And so, but she has her own spin on these shows in which they make the cartoons all wacky and memorable in a place that's supposed to be the deadliest place on earth.
Well, more like the worst place on earth.
The worst place.
The worst place to go, just because it's in hell and everything. But yeah, I can't wait to see how I can't wait to see how Hazbin Hotel is, because like second season is looking to be thriving. I can't wait for it to come out in this year.
Oh yeah, there's so much to explore in Hazbin, from the origins, the backstories, more to expand upon hell itself, everything.
Yep, can't wait for it for sure. But if anything, like, this is one success company that has been really doing well. So if you have not seen these 2 shows, please do, and you can understand why we're so happy with VivziePop and what they're doing at the moment.
Yes, Vivian, we thank you.
So the next company that we want to talk about is Glitch Productions. Now, Glitch Productions, you may know them already with like a bunch of their cartoons that they're currently working on. One of them being about robots, another one being about a circus, and another one that is made by the Owl House creator. So there's a lot of stuff happening with Glitch Productions, and we want to start it off with one particular cartoon that actually started with Glitch Productions. That was Murder Drones. Both me and Omid actually have not watched it. Maybe some of you have already seen it, but yes, Murder Drones is an interesting show. Have you actually at least saw the concept about it?
I haven't seen much on regarding Murder Drones, but it's something that I want to see, especially since we are fans of Amazing Digital Circus and we easily await for Glitch's next project. I feel like this is something we should get into.
Yeah, that's something we should get into, considering that we were watching Digital Circus. Like, that's not the first like cartoon that they've made. It's this one that they have made. And I know the show is already done. Like, they said that they're not making any more Murder Drones episodes. But have you seen like their short videos, like the shorts that they have in Glitch Productions YouTube? Like they do put up the characters for Motor Drones there along with the Digital Circus characters.
I remember seeing small miniature versions of the Murder Drones and the Digital Circus crew in one video, but that's about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it made me want to think about like actually watching Murder Drones, just because like if Digital Circus was this successful, what made Murder Drones successful? Because that's underrated in my case. Because like Glitch Productions was already thriving with Murder Drones, and it didn't really get a hit success until Amazing Digital Circus happened.
Or more importantly, is there any particular elements or parts of Amazing Digital Circus that were inspired by Murder Drones?
Maybe. See, that's the thing. Like, maybe you have to look back into watching Murder Drones, because I know the show ended, so you can actually look back at all those episodes on YouTube now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Murder Drones itself, like, looks to be an interesting concept of an idea that Glitch Productions has made. But that was just only one cartoon. The one that we want to actually talk about is Amazing Digital Circus. Yes. Which is this cartoon that we always keep on talking about. Like every freaking episode that we've done in the Anination Podcast, we always review their episodes.
And we will continue to review even more, like the upcoming episodes. Yeah.
So the pilot came out in 2023. This small little cartoon went viral because of its like fluid animation, its comedy, its interesting idea. It's just only one pilot episode, and it just brought the concept about like what this circus is all about, who these other characters are, how Pomni got into the whole entire thing. Yeah, it's just an interesting idea. But when you first saw the pilot of Major Digital Circus, your overall thoughts about it, because I believe it'd be wacky, like what happened in the cartoon.
Oh, I was blown away by it, not only because of how rubbery and 3D the Digital Circus itself and the characters look, but also how they combined the wackiness and goofiness of the circus with some deep, dark elements of it. Like for example, like you got one of the characters who's aware that he's a glitch. You also got the like the outer parts of nowhere. There's so much to explore inside the circus.
I mean, like the pilot episode already tells you like all the things that could happen in the circus. Like you have all these characters, but there's also a thing where you can also glitch out. And yeah, I think that's the one thing that Pomni's kind of scared about. If you glitch out, you're gonna be like what happened to that clown in the first episode.
In other words, you did.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I mean like the ringleader is obviously a little interesting.
Yeah, Kane was quite a character.
Kane already was like, was it sarcastic, like and stuff. Plus, he also glitches out too. I mean, if you've seen the latest episodes of Amazing Digital Circus, but when you first saw him in the first episode, he's just like pretty sus to me, obviously.
Like something about Kane. Now, one thing I keep in mind about Kane is that he's passionate about hosting these adventures and dragging the Digital Circus crew to all these shenanigans. But then there are some small hints or elements of the character that make you think he's got a dark side to him. Yeah. Or something's happened to him. Maybe he's a puppet of some sorts.
I don't know, because like the other thing too is that I remember watching the pilot, and I remember it all ended up I just remember the first episode, and it just all ended up in an office somewhere. So this person who's Pomni apparently got sucked into a computer. I think that's how the concept was. Like, how did Pomni end up becoming a part of Digital Circus? Because like, I just remember in that pilot episode, she was just like, grieving, having a smile, and she's like, and then like, the camera fades away to where the whole source material was, and apparently it was like an office somewhere. So
her facial expressions are so cute.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, there is a lot of depth when it comes to it. Like, I love how the pilot just pretty much says this is not just an ordinary circus. There's so much shit happening inside it. Like, you have the introduction of what the circus is all about, but there's so many elements of what the circus has, like the void, or so many. I don't know. I remember that white void that like Pomni went into that ended up freaking her out and stuff.
And it makes you think, what's beyond the white void?
Yeah,
what's beyond that?
Even the underground like thing where that big creature was as well. Like, what is that spot too? Yeah. I mean, there's so many things that made me like want to watch more of the Digital Circus, because there's just more of the lore, more of like the interesting story building that happens in there.
Yeah. Now, of course, each episode does focus on the adventures for the most part, but then somewhere along the line, each episode does expand upon what's beyond the circus. Mm-hmm. Like what's beyond the void.
Well, they go to adventures all the time. Like they go through like a rocky canyon, like in this particular episode. They went to a scary mansion in the third episode. Then they went to a fast food place in the fourth episode. But then I think the other thing that was best about how Digital Circus goes is because each character gets like a big in-depth look at themselves. Like, for example, what was it?
Gummy Goo from episode 2.
Yeah.
You got Kinger for episode 3 and how deep his backstory was. Mm-hmm. And then you got King.
What was the girl's name?
the mask girl, yeah.
Yeah, no, either.
Ganger?
Gangly or something? I forgot, but it's not Kinger because Kinger is already there.
No, Kang. I
actually don't know the name either, so I gotta look it up now.
You know what's that?
Gangly or something? Oops.
Gangle.
There you go.
Gangle.
Yeah.
So and then you got Gangle, who's supposed to be the manager, and she tries to run the place, but you can see how emotionally stressed she is.
Yeah. But again, I want to look back at the pilot episode, and I just want to tell you like how interesting it was that it started off with this one episode and how great it was. Just like how the interesting idea it came to be, to the animation, and how great Glitch Production has done, because like this is Gooseworks who worked on it, and how do I say this? How the flow of animation was, because like I never seen this kind of animation ever, like in any cartoon and stuff like that, because you get to see it just be amazing. I don't know. Exactly. I don't know how to explain it. It's
got its
just
own
great.
style.
It's so different compared to the other cartoons we're watching at the moment.
Hence why it earns the title of indie animation, because it's so independently made that it's independently, because of how independently made it is. Of course, it's going to have its own unique style.
Mm-hmm. But yes, I mean, it started off with a pilot on YouTube, and the whole idea of how the pilot goes is that if it is going to be more successful, they're going to obviously need more money to make more episodes to say. Mm-hmm. And so, literally at the end of every episode of the Anination Digital Circus, they have a link for you to go buy their merchandise. So you end up buying plushies, you end up buying keychains, all that kind of stuff, even t-shirts from the Anination Digital Circus, and it's actually legitimately made by them too. So they actually thrive by donations and merchandise sales.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is that after episode 1, there's this promo, this video in which Kane points out, buy our merchandise.
Yeah.
Support the show.
To be fair, like Glitch Production continues to do that too. Like they've made so many. Well, again, we'll discuss this later. I was just gonna put that up later, but it's more like, after the first episode, you just continue to see more of what Glitch Production is trying to do. Like, mm-hmm. we want this show to succeed. Here, buy our merchandise. And that's the reason why they do it, like, in every end of the episode. Like, you'll see the credits, but then you also see the website for you to buy merchandise.
Yeah, so Glitch Productions is telling you straight up, like, because since it's independent, it's an indie animated show, of course, they're independently funded, which means... we contribute. We contribute.
Yeah,
to the show.
The fans are the ones that are going to be contributing to the show, and it had led up to a second episode of the Anination Digital Circus, mm-hmm. and onward with more stuff. And I would imagine by now they continue to do more sales. Like they continue to get plushies sold, T-shirts sold, and all that kind of stuff. And I would imagine they also did make some new stuff as well. Either way, Anination Digital Circus' success story was already fine as it is from the first pilot episode, but after the first episode, they did put up the second episode a couple months later, and then we also did get the deal about Netflix actually airing Digital Circus. So again, let's look back at that, because like it was indie on YouTube, but then it thrived now because it now is on Netflix.
Yeah. So the success story of this show shares similarities to Has Been Hotel's success in that they both started off as being pilot episodes before becoming big and before going into particular streaming services, like Has Been to Amazon, Anination Digital Circus to Netflix, respectively.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's not going to be indie anymore, just the fact that it's now, on Netflix. But I do love this whole deal that Digital Circus has done. Mm-hmm. So, the Glitch Production crew is currently working on new episodes of Digital Circus, and they have Netflix's funding to help make them. And the other thing, too, is that it's not just on Netflix. They also are still putting it on YouTube as well. So they're having both success stories here and there, where like they had a deal where they'll still air the episodes on YouTube, and they will also still air, and they will also air it on Netflix as well. So the viewership of Netflix numbers will also help them in their funding, as well as the YouTube numbers that people are watching the Digital Circus on into their funds as well.
It's also clever. It's also a clever move for just in case, some of the audience isn't subscribed to Netflix or doesn't.
That's
go
what I'm
on YouTube
saying.
Match.
Everybody is going to be watching it. There's so many other ways for them to watch it, to watch the Major Digital Circus. They can watch it for free on YouTube, or they can actually pay a fee to watch it on Netflix, and it doesn't matter. I mean, I'm watching it on YouTube anyways.
Yeah, and I think that most, if not all, indie animated shows should do this when they reach that pinnacle of success. Have it be shown on both your YouTube channel and a streaming service.
Well, I mean, this is just a first thing for anybody, because I just remember nobody has ever done this before. Like, have their indie platform being well known on a streaming service like Netflix. Like, Vivian has done it, but the Has Been Hotel show didn't actually premiere on YouTube. Like, the first episode premiered on, on Amazon Prime, but the pilot is still on YouTube. So it was thanks to the pilot that the series was all greenlit to Amazon Prime, not on YouTube. So people who wants to actually watch Has Been Hotel, they have to actually buy a subscription service of Amazon Prime Video.
That is true. Yeah, that's the only major difference.
And then the other thing that comes to mind is the fact that for people that love Major Digital Circus, they can watch it for free, or they can watch it on Netflix. And I think that's a success story for it itself, because Glitch Productions is getting a lot of funds from the donations from all the merchandise sales, the Netflix sales, and also the Netflix viewership and the YouTube viewership. And all in all is helping make so many cartoons for Glitch Productions, even making more episodes of the Digital Circus.
It really is, and it's also, I feel pride in the fact that we have contributed to it in a way by buying the merchandise. So I am thankful for the of course the creators, the staff to make this. So,
either way, like, this just blows my mind how a small cartoon like Major Digital Circus ends up thriving on Netflix, ends up becoming such a big hit story on YouTube that even people are currently drawing like fan art, making cosplays. I've seen last year in ALA. I see some of you been cosplaying Major Digital Circus. Plus, the freaking voice actress was even there at the con. And even in conventions right now, the voice actors of like the Major Digital Circus are even popping up too.
It goes to show how an indie animated show is no longer indie. Like, it's part of the main crowd.
It's more like they have to start somewhere. Yeah. Like, that's the thing about indie animation. They have to start somewhere. They have to make their cartoons on a platform, and that's where YouTube comes in. They could go to like other platforms like Newgrounds, for example, but I think everybody knows that YouTube is the one spot they go to. So if you are looking for like indie animation cartoons, they're all on YouTube. And it does take a while, hit or miss here and there, but they will eventually get picked up. It's just a matter of luck. But you've heard about the success stories about Major Digital Circus and Has Been Hotel. And these are one long shots for them to actually make it big, but thankfully they have been able to. Which actually makes me think about this next cartoon that Glitch Productions is working on, and that's Knights of Guinevere. Because that looks promising, that looks great. It's also backed by the Owl House creator. So something tells me that we're going to have a success story possibly with this cartoon.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have the big three in terms of indie animation overall, between Has Been, Amazing Digital Circus, and this, like, in terms of indie animation overall. Because this is going to start off as just a one-off pilot before it becomes full-fledged.
Well, that's what I was thinking about. Like, from the way I'm kind of seeing how the concept goes, there will be a pilot episode for this, maybe on YouTube to say. I mean, I'm feeling like Glitch Productions is trying to find the same way of success, like what they've done with Amazing Digital Circus. Like, they'll put it on YouTube, and who knows if they want to, again, it's their decision. Do they want to just keep it on YouTube, or do they want to like spread it out to other like streaming platforms?
Yeah, because even though most of these stories do come from YouTube, like you said, they do come from other sources like Newgrounds, for example. They can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends on what the actual original source is. But I have a feeling it will go on YouTube.
It's pretty sure it's going to be on YouTube. I mean, Glitch Production probably is going to say, I'm pretty sure it's just straight to YouTube at the moment, but it is only a matter of time before a big deal happens where like Dana Terrace probably say, hey, can I stream my episodes here? Or maybe Glitch Productions is gonna say, hey, we have a deal to actually air your cartoon on Netflix again, or on, on another streaming platform, to say, or Amazon Prime. And if all goes well, that means it is successful for Dana. It's successful for Glitch Productions. I mean, the show Knights of Guinevere already itself has already a name brand with Dana Terrace.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for Dana Terrace to have her own success story with this after what she went through with Disney with the Owl House.
Yeah, I mean, the Owl House everybody knows the Owl House. Like, I believe everybody who's anybody has been watching the Owl House. Like, people have been friends have been recommending the show to everybody. Everybody's been watching it. Everyone's loving it. So it's already a success story of itself. Now it's going to have a different challenge, knowing that it's a different production company, a different animation company, working on Dana's new project, and who knows how that'll go. It's not going to be as successful as Disney, honestly. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not going to be as successful as Disney, because Disney is already a big platform itself.
Oh, it already
so you're
is.
Pretty much starting from the ground up. Like, you're starting again on your indie base on YouTube, and now you're trying to find your way to get back up again.
Yeah. Now, while we don't expect it to reach the levels of Disney or Universal success, we do want it to be successful on its own merits, on its own.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, the big disadvantage that Glitch as well as other indie animation companies have is that they do have to start from the ground up. They have to find a way to fund themselves.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like, again, Dana's name will be the success story for this. And who knows, Glitch Productions already well known, or it's already well known with the Major Digital Circus. So who knows how it'll go. Again, the plan is still out there. The whole pilot has not been made yet. It's supposed to be coming out this year, hopefully, according to what the trailer says. But it really is up to Glitch Productions to understand what'll happen. But again, the success story of Glitch Productions has been doing great. So yeah, and it's been nice. It's been great.
We do hope that they continue to thrive with this show. It'll be good for Glitch and it'll be good for Dana.
Indeed. Now, I just want to actually just talk overall about indie animation as a whole, because from the way I'm kind of like talking about how Glitch Productions has went through, how Vizzy-Pop has been through, and how Flow has been through. What makes you? What are some like what are some like key things that you can actually think about when you actually saw how these like small cartoons that started up in a small video ended up becoming successful?
I think what it really comes down to is they all had to start somewhere. Most of them started from YouTube, but others from Newgrounds and such. They had a big plan to make sure that it was made and made sure that it was widely viewed by audiences. Then they of course had to start from the ground up in terms of its funding, including the viewers buying the merchandise, of course, which led to them making more content for their shows. And eventually, if they strike big, then they would make a deal with a streaming service, whether it be Netflix or Amazon.
Yeah, but my other thing too is that it's tough. It's got to be very tough, because you can look at like YouTube right now, and there are just so many cartoons that people are trying to get put their feet in. Like they're trying to like soak their feet into like a big pool of water of like big people that wanting to like get their name brand out there, to say. Mm-hmm. And I know it's a tough road. Like I respect like everybody who's currently working on cartoons right now, that they want to at least like thrive up and actually get like success stories from it, these names, for example, I mean, Has-Been Hotel, like Major Digital Circus, there's so many like cartoons that are out there that kind of tells you like maybe there's a chance that they'll probably be successful. I mean, some people in the comments already have been talking about, say for example, like apparently this Adventure Camp. This is from I saw a comment, by the way, on our on our YouTube chat here, but apparently there's this cartoon called This Adventure Camp. They're from Anination Cartoons, and that's on YouTube, I think, or Newgrounds. See, those cartoons we never heard about, but we have to find a way to actually like hear it. Like again, you might put your like video on YouTube and Newgrounds or whatever streaming service you're going to put it onto, but the problem is, where's the audience that you're going to bring up? Because like the success story of how Has-Been Hotel, the success story of how Major Digital Circus has been all because of word of mouth. Like they saw the pilot, they thought it was great, and it was spread throughout the world, to say.
Yeah, so it all comes down to promotion. Like how much a show gets heavily promoted. Like the more it gets promoted, the higher the chance it sees it.
That's my point that I'm trying to bring up. Like all indie cartoons are great, It's just that the audience is the one that actually helps make it out. And you've done your job. It's just more of like, how can you spread the word around? How can animators know your work? This is where like the hard part comes in. You may have already done your animation project, but there are harder work out there where you have to actually like spread your cartoon around, make sure it gets thriving, and then sooner or later it might get picked up by a streaming network, or it might get picked up by Amazon Prime or something.
Yeah, animation. One thing you got to keep in mind about the world of animation as a whole is that it's a tough world out there. Whether you're an animator trying to make it to the big studios, or you're an animator trying to make your own series, it's all in all hard, no matter which direction you go.
Yeah, and to be fair, again, I'm just talking about like all these stories that I've been hearing about how indie animation ended up being successful. But at the moment right now, it just feels like for indie cartoons, there is a pathway going up to be successful. Like, you've seen Flow, you've seen Hazbin Hotel, you've seen Anination Digital Circus.
Yeah.
I feel like other cartoons are ready to also take the big step.
Yeah, well, the best thing about all these indie projects that we just mentioned is that they open doors to more movies and shows like these to come. Like, we're going to see more Latvian animated movies, or these kind of movies from other countries.
It's more like other countries probably going to make more better cartoons, maybe. Who knows?
And not only that, we may see even more glitch material, more VivziePop material. Like, anything can go.
It can't just be all about those two. There are other indie cartoon networks out there.
There are, and I'm saying that there could be another one that we are going to get introduced to that will make it as big as those two.
Yes, I have a feeling there will be. It's just more of like, when will the time come for them? And again, from the way I'm kind of seeing it recently now, indie animation is going to be huge. I just feel like it's going to be huge.
Yeah, it's like, give it time, and it's going to reach the peak by about 2 to 3 years later. Like, it's climbing up. It's
I'm not really
up.
giving an estimate of time. It's just more of like, I can't really say 2 or 3 years, dude. I can mostly say it really is luck in my case. I mean, from the way I'm kind of seeing it, it is really based on luck. So hopefully for those who are working on indie animation, I wish you guys the best, because you guys have been thriving in animation at the moment compared to like what the other animation networks have been doing. You've seen how unsuccessful Disney Channel has been. What happened to their cartoons? Nickelodeon, pretty much relying on SpongeBob. Cartoon Network, it's dead. Yeah. So if we're really going to be relying on animation, it really got to be based on everybody who's indie right now. Like, if you're going to be a successful, if you're going to be a huge like animation like company, let us know. We want to see your cartoon. We want to see how you guys do, because we want to spread the word around. We're an Anination podcast. We're an animation podcast itself. So yes, indie animations out there. We want to see how your works are, and we may be able to actually promote it here in our channel. Who knows?
Yeah, we love to support your work because we want to help contribute to your success.
Indeed, but yeah, I mean, anything else for this? Because it just feels like I just pretty much like made a rant of like how great indie animation has been.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much. There's nothing more that needs to be said other than we're proud of how indie animation is doing. It's currently thriving, and it may get up to a point where it could match up against, like big animation studios that aren't doing exactly so well at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Right now, we're at a golden age of animation right now. And I know that at the moment we are obviously going with Disney, Pixar, and all that kind of stuff. But who knows? It might be a underdog contender that could be able to become a success story like what happened to these cartoons that we've mentioned tonight.
Yes, absolutely. And we do hope to hear from more indie animation companies like these as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to bring up before we close the episode?
Nothing much I want to say, except I'm excited for all the indie content we're going to get.
All right. I mean, if anything, again, I can't wait for what new animation stuff happens, but it only is a matter of time before we hit a big success story like what happened to Anination Digital Circus. Because I think that right now is the latest cartoon that has the biggest success story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if anything, I bet you anything, future indie animated shows will take inspiration from the current ones to make.
Well, that's what they do.
That's what they're gonna do. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I mean like different indie animation studios taking inspiration from VivziePop and Glitch to.
Well, I know. That's what they're saying. They are going to be inspired by them. So hopefully their next animation project can become huge as well. Who knows? Again, I just talked a lot. That's all I can say. I am I'm winded, honestly. So
drink some water.
Dude, I'm talking a lot, dude. Oh, jeez, I was talking a lot. Anyways, let me just close the episode then.
All right.
Anyways, that's pretty much it for our episode here. Next week we're gonna be in Las Vegas for Super Bowl Sunday.
Let's go.
And I know the Eagles and Chiefs are gonna play, so go whoever. Go Kendrick Lamar. Woo!
Go Saquon Barkley.
Oh, Saquon
Barkley's my guy.
Oh my God, you're saying that wrong.
Saquon Barkley.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, yes. Go ahead, have fun with the Super Bowl that's happening this Sunday as we're recording. We'll be back next Wednesday for an all-new episode of the Anination Podcast. But until then, feel free to like our video, subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the bell button so you're notified when we'll be coming up next. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year, so if you guys can, please help in our cause by subscribing to our channel. And also on the bottom of our screen, please also check out our social media sites as well, on our Twitter, on our Instagram, and on Blue Sky, which will be coming up real soon.
Yeah, so we're currently on the road to 1K, so let's just hope that you take us there.
Yeah, and that's pretty much it for our episode. I hope you guys love this idea of how indie animation has become successful, because it has been such a great story to actually watch. And hopefully you guys love how indie animation goes. We need to see more indie cartoons, if anything.
Exactly. We're rooting for the underdogs. It's like rooting for the underdogs.
All right. Yeah. But until then, thank you guys very much for checking out the episode. We'll see you guys next time.
Have a good day.
Kendrick Lamar. Go Kendrick Lamar.
Can't wait for the Super Bowl.
Oh, gosh. We'll see you guys later. Bye. See you next week.
Yes.